Hey y'all, it's Indigo here, coming at you with round 2 of week 2 of the Grand Arena Championships. My opponent has already attacked. He started really early and I had some business to take care of last night, so I couldn't get in-game and actually spend time attacking and record my battles. So I just kind of watched him do his thing. And now I finally have the time, so I'm going to go through and show you how my side of the battles went. And then at the end, I'll go and show you that last zone over there that he's still got up, that he hasn't taken down yet. So let's jump into it. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I'll show you how everything went. Okay, so first off, up top, you can see that he's got a Jedi Revan, and then he's got a First Order squad. I thought it was funny how he put Jedi Revan, because I also did. Both of us have the General Grievous droid counter to Darth Revan, so we both put our Jedi Revans on offense. Now, down south, he's got a pretty easy zone. He's just got some Bosk-led bounty hunters and then a Qarth team, and this is where I might be different from a lot of the streamers you see. I know they like to take the hardest zone, but for me, if I can tackle a zone with easy teams, then I can see what's behind it, and that's going to give me more information on what I need to save, potentially for the other zone or to get through that back zone. So if I can have more information before I start burning my good teams, so much the better. And there's a couple different ways to counter his Jedi Revan up top, and a couple different ways to tackle that FO team. And I just want to make sure that he didn't put any surprises in back, like his Darth Revan waiting back there, because that's going to make a difference on whether I throw BB-8 in with my JTR or whether I use a totally different team. I don't want to take chances. So I'm a big fan of taking out the low-hanging fruit, the easiest things first, and then seeing what's in the back. The more information you can get, the better off you're going to be. So we're going to start off by taking out his bounty hunters and his Qarth team, because I have dialed in counters for both of those. So here we go. First up is his Bosk bounty hunter team. They're pretty slow, at least compared to my Imperial troopers, and y'all have seen this in plenty other videos. As long as my start can go first and put up the buffs, then range will go do his thing. Then I got Death Trooper throwing the grenade to increase cooldowns, and from there they just sort of clean the board. And that's all I'm doing here, just clearing the table, throw some Death Mark out there on Bosk, try and get him, weaker, get him down easier. AoEs from Snow Trooper definitely do their job, and you win in about 30 seconds and get your full 60 banners. So, done with that team, and I was able to use, a B or C team, troopers, as opposed to wasting something good. For Qarth, my main counter for that is First Order. I love to use this team because it gives you so much control, and I believe he doesn't have the Zeta on Mission. He does have it on Zalbar. Definitely makes it a lot easier for me, because without all those constant assists for Mission, she's not going to heal nearly as much. You can take her out kind of fairly easily. Just got to watch out for Zalbar getting his taunt back, but there went Mission, so that's, a main damage dealer kind of out of the way. Start working on everybody else. And there's a lot of control because you use Crew's 2-turn stun, and then you got Executioner that can dispel buffs with his big hit. So this is definitely my preferred team to use, just because I've had so much practice with it. And that makes a big difference. If you're well practiced with something, that's better than going in saying, okay, I'm going to use an EP team this time, and hopefully it goes well. No, I know this is going to go well because I know the steps to do. It's got wiggle room for if for some reason your hits don't land or whatever, you've got ways to come back. And if you're not practiced with something, you may not do well. So you can see I took out Canderous. There goes Qarth. Now it's just Zalbar and Juhani left. And Zalbar being stunned, there's basically nothing that that he can do for anything. Now I'm just trying to make sure my guys all have their health and protection back. It's not super easy. You try and throw up as many buffs as you can so they heal up that protection. But there's a limit to what you can do. And that AoE doesn't really help things that happen right there. But it isn't about, perfect banners in this one, because my opponent's already messed up on a few squads. So it was good enough. Now we got that zone completed. I'll be able to show you what's in the back there. And there it is. So he's got waiting for me down there a Nightsister team, MT lead, and then he's got a Qarth Scoundrel team. Doesn't look that tough, but it does have a Gear 13 L3. So she's already a pain, to get through. It's going to be even more of a pain at Gear 13, I'm sure. So right now we'll go ahead and jump up top, and I can take out his Revan squad, because I know what I'll need to take out those two bottom teams. So I know what kind of firepower I have left to burn in this area and still save enough to get through in the back behind it. So for Jedi Revan, I'll go ahead and take in my Darth Revan squad. But in this one, I'll take Darth Revan, Malak, HK, Sith Trooper, and then Sith Marauder. And I leave my Fallen Bastila out because I can use her later in like an EP team. She really supercharges your EP team. So if you have a chance to kind of split her off, it's a great way to turn that, it might be a C team into a B team, or a B team into a B plus team. You can take out a lot of things with that, with her giving out all those debuffs. And you don't really need her to take out a Jedi Revan team. Not like this. So knock that out. No big problem there. And then for his FO, I was thinking about using Rey, but I just wasn't confident without having BB-8 in there. I didn't want to chance it, and there was no reason to chance it. So I figured I'd go ahead and burn my CLS here, because it doesn't matter what's in the back. If he's got Darth Revan back there, okay, I can handle that. Anything else, I still have Traya, I still have Padme. I've got plenty of firepower left. So I can go ahead and burn CLS here, and I know that will counter his FO, and then still have plenty that I can use once I see what's behind here. So I'm just working on taking them out, one by one. It's a little bit slow because they don't have the healing immunity like your JTR squad would have. But you just keep working on them. They do good heavy damage. You just got to work on doing the right damage at the right time. So did that, took out Storm, took out Executioner. Now it's just the two Kylos left. You just got to get enough big hits in. And also use the stuns, to keep old Kylo stunned so he can't keep boosting the turn meter with his AoE. You can see how I got Crew Red Bard. Took him out. Now it's just Xylo there. Go in for a stun, got it. I put enough, the problem is this team puts enough debuffs down that it will constantly keep healing him. He makes a really good tank, but it's not the kind where you're going to time out over it. They can do enough damage to circumvent that. So you can see it's barely tapping him. Once you get a good big hit ability in, then it's game over. Like right there. See, one good hit, down to red, another, he's gone. So end of that team, and I got plenty of firepower left for the back. So let's see what's behind there that I got to deal with. Alright, so open up this back, and he did throw, a little curveball. He's got his Padme back there. Normally you expect people to put one top team on defense, like a Revan, and then save the rest for offense. But he did throw his Padme back there, and then he's got some Ewoks. So we'll go ahead and take out the Padme. It's pretty easy. I got my Traya team left over. That's a great counter for Padme, especially since I have Thrawn in there, and I got IPD. And my IPD with the Zeta can make sure that those protection ups, stay off of there so they can't get buffs. and I can fracture Padme, kind of keep her sidelined, and then just start annihilating people with Nihilus. So this is a perfect team, maybe a bit of overkill. I was thinking about taking EP in against this team because that should work well too, but I haven't had as much practice as I have with Traya. And I mean, I have the firepower, so why not use it? You don't get bonus points for leaving things on the bench. So I'll go in with Traya team, annihilate Padme there. Now this team just kind of falls apart. You can see I keep GK isolated. That way I don't have to worry about his taunt coming back up. And just start working on everybody else, getting them down. And there's no danger to lose this. Once I'm at this point, it's game over for him. It's just a matter of me trying to keep everybody topped off on protection, make sure I get a few extra banners here and there, just for my own, practice. You don't really need it in this matchup. The matchup's coming down to him going multiple battles on squads, and I'm working on killing everything in one. So if I kill everything in one, it doesn't matter if I'm getting 58 or 59 or 60. Still working on his team. Having that Xeris in there definitely makes the team a bit more stout. All that healing on crits. You can see every time I do some damage, it keeps healing up the team, and it just takes longer to take them out. I still got plenty of time, 3 minutes left on the clock, but it just takes longer. It's kind of a little pain to deal with. You can see that big hit doesn't take off much. I got Fracture, and the Fracture actually heals up Anakin, more than it does anything. So I just used my Annihilate on Xeris there. Once you get her out of the picture, then it's a lot easier to take these guys down. Save GK for last. He's isolated anyway. Doesn't really matter. But just try and make sure everybody's topped off as much as they can be. Get my max banners. Like I said, it's good practice. So if you have the time to do it, and I do, you might as well do it and kind of get in that habit. Make sure you can squeeze out every last drop, every bit of banners that you can. Because I may not need it for this match, but I may need it for sometime in the future. So to know that I can do it is pretty nice. And there it goes. So there went GK. I got my full 60 banners against that Padme team. That just leaves his Ewoks up there. And then remember, down south we got a Nightsister team and then a Scoundrel team down there. So I'm going to jump down there and clear that zone first. Save Ewoks toward the end because you can kill them with leftovers. So for this Nightsister team, I'll go ahead and take my own Padme team in. And I like to put Xeris in there for the extra heals. But I used her on defense this time. So I went ahead and threw my Shaak Ti. I think she's like 4 or 5 stars in this. And she's geared up, gear 11, got decent mods. But she does have some healing abilities, so that's pretty helpful. Throw her in, she makes a nice 5th for this team until I get her ready for a clone squad or whatever. I just have to get more familiar with her kit and reading her abilities. But she makes a great 5th Jedi as a Galactic Republic under Padme lead for the squad because of that healing and protection. And this squad takes a while to get some things down. You got to circumvent Zombies taunt. Thankfully, I do have the Zeta on Ahsoka. So every time people use a special, she'll come out there, do a basic, cleanse that taunt. I think Shaak Ti also can get rid of taunt. So it is nice having that feature as well. If you use your Galactic Republic against Nightsisters as a primary counter, which I do. I know people use her against Darth Revan, but not me. This is my go-to counter for Nightsisters. I don't really care for Nightsisters. So if I find something that works 100% of the time and will get me at least, 55, 56 banners and it's 100% reliable, I'm just going to stick with this. So right now I'm just working on getting him down. I've already got my 2 kills in. Got rid of his Daka. I'm trying to get rid of Asajj. just because her damage would ramp up with all the, the deaths when they use the basic, and Daka or whoever comes back for the attack. All that's going to help power up Asajj, and I don't want Asajj getting in one big hit to get rid of somebody. So got rid of her. Next biggest threat, of course, would be MT. Trying to worry about getting her out of there. I got her down to yellow and red. Right there, I could have gotten rid of her, but I just misclicked. So now it's just Acolyte there, Dogpile, and now just Zombie. And that's it. Took out the Nightsisters and got 59 banners with that. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Here's the Scoundrel team he had. I went ahead and took my EP team in. I don't know that they would have been able to do it normally if I would have had something like TIE Fighter Pilot in there. But with my Bastilla Fallen in there, and the fact that she puts up the mega debuffs, that is going to, fuel their turn meter by a lot more than any other character really will. So definitely helps get them all the jump start and get so many moves in to where the other side can't do much. And I'm constantly keeping them debuffed, trying to get shocks out there, but you'll see I get stuck behind L3's taunt a lot. Thankfully, this team has some good AoEs, like with Tarkin there. I can just knock some people out that are weaker. Like he got rid of Kira, but I'm constantly stuck behind this taunt, so there's nothing I can do but keep putting down debuffs and keep using AoE attacks. And I guess that's why the squad works pretty well. If you can keep them debuffed, don't let that Vandor Chewie get prepared, because if Vandor was prepared and kept bringing this L3 back, that would be a huge pain. Since I keep getting stuck behind this like perma-taunt, it's frustrating. But I was able to get rid of L3 there. Now it's just a matter of keep throwing down the debuffs and keep using the AoEs, getting rid of Vandor. And now I just got Han, and he's gone. 60 banners. Worked really well. You do need something to supercharge that team, whether it's Thrawn or Bastilla or something, better than just a plain EP team, and you'll be sure to get the win. Now I just got the Ewoks left, so I'm using my leftovers, and I actually remembered to underman it so I can get progress on the feat. I'm really bad about ignoring the feats, they just don't matter to me as much. I'd rather get the win, and so I always forget about doing the feats. So I did Underman, took a Bastilla Jedi squad in, Hermit Yoda, Ezra, and then Wampa, just because Wampa can get the job done probably on his own. But I'm not one of those people that's going to put a solo Wampa in and run a risk ever. I think that's stupid. Unless I, for some reason, had to score 64 points, I'm just not going to do it. I think that's dumb. So I got 61 points here. It was enough for the win, obviously. My opponent struggled mightily this time. He went 4 on my Nightsisters before he finally cleared them. He went 2 on a Bosk Bounty Hunter squad that I had out front. And so he's got extra battles in there. I had room to work. And then that last zone, you see this is my zone and back. I got just a Qarth team with Vandor in there, and then a Dooku squad. And he hasn't even touched the Dooku squad, but he went 1 on the Qarth team. So he's done. I don't expect him to try anymore. And even if he did clear them both in the next battles, he doesn't have a chance of winning. So that was it for this match. It was pretty easy for me. Hopefully you guys learned something, and we'll see you guys all in round 3. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below. and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace!